AllmaGen can help enterprise knowledge workers with just about any complex task. For example, suppose I need to estimate software development effort based on historical data. Let's try it. I start by simply telling AllmaGen what I need, expressing it in ordinary language. AllmaGen responds by first asking me questions to clarify its understanding of what I was asking for. And also, it generated a few possible responses for me to choose from. Now, I could just select one of those, but I'm going to steer AllmaGen in a different direction by responding in my own words, like this. AllmaGen asks me another question. This time, I like one of these options it's proposing. I tell AllmaGen to combine predictive modeling with trends and correlation analysis. And another question. I choose a mix of visualizations. Now that AllmaGen has interviewed me to learn more specifically what I need, it thinks for a minute to identify my use case and come up with a solution plan. The clarifying questions that AllmaGen just asked me are essential, because they ensure it doesn't make the mistake that some AI platforms, and some people do, of leaping too quickly to coming up with a solution before understanding the problem accurately. When it's done with this first phase of thinking, AllmaGen invites me to look at the solution plan it's generated. I can see the use case it's chosen, indicated by those blue tiles. It knows about other possible use cases too, those orange tiles at the bottom. In fact, there are so many of them that AllmaGen organizes them into groups, those green tiles. And all of those green group tiles are connected to the top tile. That top tile is what drives the clarification questions that AllmaGen asked me a few moments ago. So the use case that AllmaGen selected is in this group, which includes 6 use cases in total. And this is the specific use case among those 6, trend analysis. I can examine the purpose of each of the AI agents that contribute to addressing this use case by hovering over their names. At this point, I could steer AllmaGen toward a different use case, but for now, let's go with the one it selected. AllmaGen takes me back to its conversational interface, and I wait while it now creates a work plan. Once it's ready, it invites me to look over its proposed work plan and make any adjustments I'd like. Here's the work plan. Each of these steps in the plan maps to one of these boxes that currently says no results. AllmaGen is going to fill out the boxes, each in turn, with instructions to itself about how to perform that step. The work plan AllmaGen has proposed involves applying machine learning techniques to answer the question I asked about estimating software effort based on historical data, as you may have recognized if you're familiar with machine learning steps like feature engineering and model selection and training. So let's go ahead with this plan without modifying it this time. AllmaGen gets back to work. It starts by filling out this first box and then the rest. Here are the steps that it generated for the first stage. Identify relevant data, data sources, data cleaning, data structuring, feature selection, and data normalization and encoding. I won't read all the steps and all the phases, but you can see as I scroll through them that these are far from trivial tasks and would require a lot of effort from a human performing them. Steps like dimensionality reduction, model training, hyperparameter tuning, residual analysis. Note that it includes a step where it retrains the model based on its findings after optimization, and then even validates the retrained model using a separate validation set. Let's close out of this. And we're back to the system's conversational interface. Let's jump now to the findings report that's the result of this analysis. It shows resource allocation by development type, including a bar chart, and the report contains various other charts, some of which are interactive, like this one, a feature correlation heat map that lets me bracket which values I want to see. This one shows actual effort versus predicted effort, cost distribution for projects, a box plot, a chart showing normal distribution of efforts, and finally, a summary table. Now, this report also shows some additional questions I asked about what the impact would be of increasing team size by 20%. To estimate this, AllmaGen generated a plan, and it even wrote the code itself to make those calculations, to assess current team dynamics, calculate new team size, analyze impact on effort, on timelines, on efficiency. It also includes some visual comparisons. When we exit out of this, we go back to the report where we see those generated visualizations, followed by a final cost breakdown showing both cost and margin. I also requested a PDF of this report so I'd have the option of distributing it easily, and AllmaGen created it. Here it is, to email to colleagues, or, if I want to go old school, print on paper and leave on someone's desk. Okay, that was a whirlwind tour, and we only scratched the surface, but if it piques your curiosity, get in touch with us, and we'll be glad to go into more depth about how you can use AllmaGen to master enterprise complexity.